Tootie, Fonzie, Kelly, Alice, Peg Bundy, and Norm. Guys, welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be a curator today. Guys, I have the coffee on, and I have a fantastic topic of discussion. And I've been wrestling with this topic of discussion. I've made several trips to Target in the last few days, and as I'm sure all of you guys, being Mego collectors, have. And the one sad thing I see, because I love Mego so much, I'm constantly trying to rearrange and straighten up the Mego section. And these are some of the sad faces that I've seen for nearly a year hanging on the pegs with torn cards, laying on other action figures, lying on the floor. As collectors, we call these figures, or any figures that hang in the store aisle, toy aisles for too long, we call them peg warmers. Not a very nice name, but a name nonetheless. Guys, we're looking at peg warmers. And it's frustrating because I think these are some really cool figures, some really cool Mego figures. Guys, we're here today to find out why, how, and for how much longer. What happened to these Mego figures? Why did they become peg warmers? Popularity, not enough popularity, not enough mainstream collectors. Guys, I have to take myself out of the equation. I'm a child of the 1970s. So these figures, these Mego figures, historically are connected to me. They mean something to me. The TV shows that brought forth these action figures. Why didn't these Mego sell? We want your input, guys. We got a fresh pot of coffee on. You know what time it is, guys. It's coffee time with M.I.B. And today's topic of discussion is what happened to these peg warmers. Why did these figures become peg warmers? Can we consider Fonzie a peg warmer? He's always been one of my favorites. I wasn't fortunate enough to have a Fonzie Mego, vintage Mego Fonzie back in the 1970s. My parents didn't buy me one. So when I found out that when Mego was coming back out and Fonzie was going to be in Wave 1, I immediately placed my order. And now I'm finding tons and tons and tons of Fonzies. Wave 3, Wave 4 were on sale for like $6.48. But Fonzie was still at $12.99. And I think a subscriber, I think a fellow collector brought that to my attention. Wave 4 figures were on sale, markdown prices. And Kelly Garrett is still being sold at $12.99. I've bought some multiples of trying to help remove and rescue some of these peg warmers. These fantastic Mego figures that have become a casualty of war, if you will. Sad but true. We want your input, guys. I'm hearing great stories about customizers, collectors that are saving tons of these beautiful figures to use as custom fodder, parts for other projects, which I think is cool. Action Jackson is a fan favorite, a collector favorite, a customizer favorite. He's customizer friendly. There's so many things you can do with AJ. Looking at my Kelly Garrett here, one of my favorites from the Charlie's Angels line. Guys, why didn't these figures sell? And why have they become the lost and forgotten Megos? Everything you see here on the stage today, I believe, is Wave 1. Nearly a year later, we can still find Wave 1 on the pegs. My subscribers want to know if I had Tootie. Yes, guys, I have Tootie. I'm a big Facts of Life fan. A big Kim Fields fan. But we want to know today. Well, it's a two-part question, I guess. It's what happened and what can we do to rescue more of these beautiful Mego figures from becoming peg warmers. That's what we're trying to figure out, guys. I get it. A lot of people just aren't into Brady Bunch and Facts of Life and Married with Children. Was it an experiment by Mego? And you have to test it. So I applaud Mego for putting Cheers and Married with Children and the Brady Bunch and Facts of Life, Happy Days, Charlie's Angels. I applaud them for putting them out. But I'm a museum curator. I'm collecting the very essence of the historical factor of these figures, of Mego, of Mego's return. And I thought initially that that would be enough for people, for collectors, enthusiasts to purchase these figures because Mego was just coming back. And maybe people wanted a part of history, of having wave one. My thinking was along those lines. For one, I'm a Mego fan. And two, I wanted to be a part of Mego history. Their return, their first wave of figures. I wanted all of them. And I have all of them. All of them. And some multiples. But guys, I challenge my subscribers to go out and save a peg warmer in your travels to Target. If you've already started that process, that's fantastic. Will we look back one day and Tootie will be one of the rarest Mego figures ever? I heard a collector make that suggestion, or offer that suggestion, I should say. And a few collectors kind of laughed at him. How cool would that be if Tootie becomes one of the most sought after Mego figures of all time? Possible? Maybe. Or Alice? Maybe Peg Bundy. Norma's one of my favorites. So guys, in my travels, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to continue to rescue the peg warmers. But we want to know, how did this happen? How did this become an issue? And Mego is doing so well now. Fantastic assortment and array of action figures from all walks of life, all genres. We talked about the new 8-inch DC superheroes, the 14-inch monsters. But somewhere along the way, these wave one Mego figures that's become peg warmers at Targets across the country have simply been forgotten about. We want your input, guys. We want your feedback. We want the whys, the hows. Give us some ideas of how we can rescue more peg warmers. And let us know your thoughts on peg warmers and these figures. Do you own any of these figures? Do you have any of these figures in your collection? And I know some of the staunchest Mego collectors don't have Kelly Garrett in their collection. Rescue a Kelly Garrett today, guys. You know the routine. God bless. And keep collecting.